You know what else is perfect? Dungeon Junkies Real Talk. No, not your ass.
Oh.
Thanks for ruining that.
Dungeon Junkies is perfect too.
Better than your ass. Dungeon Junkies Real Talk, you bitch.
Real talk.
And I'm here with the one and only. Spent 2 years filming a wildlife documentary on junkyard dogs.
Amazing.
It's my boy Alex. You still stink.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you shower.
It's that dog smell.
Yeah. And we're here talking about the latest episode of Dungeon Junkies. Mm-hmm. So spoiler alert, if you haven't checked out the latest episode, go back and listen to it. It just came out on Friday, so you've had a couple days. What are you doing here? Go check it out. Come back and listen to it.
Yeah.
Listen to this afterwards. And, kind of a slow episode, I'd say.
Slow. Yeah, that's true. Story-wise, we didn't really get that far.
We did a little bit of walking on the beach.
We did just a lot of walking.
And that's how we started with out in the dunes and under the effects of mysterious potions that Finworth had purchased.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we were thinking, we're looking for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Notice the storm coming in.
Yeah.
We should probably find him before, it gets too bad.
Yeah.
So start walking to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Do a little dune surfing.
Yep.
Everything's looking...
It was awesome.
Everything's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going great.
Yeah.
Then Taryn loses his goddamn mind.
I do.
We don't know. Crab starts talking to you.
Yeah.
And
only I can hear it.
Yeah. And it's saying it's going to kill you or it wants to kill you.
Yeah, exactly. It basically said, I'm going to kill you. And I was like, okay, that's not cool. And, but of course, the first time anyone hears that from what seems to be a crab, you're probably going to be like, all right, am I hydrated? Do I need to drink some water?
Yeah.
So he didn't think too much of it at that point because sometimes you just hear stuff. But then it happened the second time later on, and that's when Taryn lost his motherfucking mind.
Do you think he would ever be in danger of this crab thing? It's not like a massive creature.
Yeah, no.
You'd have to be asleep. It comes up and gets your neck.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't know that it was, especially me thinking I can hear it talk, okay, this might not just be a crab.
Right, who knows what kind of abilities it has.
Yeah, if it's talking to me, it probably has laser eyes or something.
Which is a point you had brought up later whenever I had climbed on top of it. And I was like, well, if it goes crazy, I'm safe up here. And you're like, how do you know the shell's not going to open up?
Yeah.
Oh.
like a flower and just consume you.
I don't know anything about this creature besides the fact that it appears to be a giant crab.
Yeah, yeah. From what you can tell, it's just a giant crab. I bet you it probably was just a giant crab.
Yeah. And the thing kept following us, threatening you.
Yep.
And we came across we saw smoke on the beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so we started walking towards the smoke.
Yeah.
And found what looked like a massacre.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of different goblin bodies.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of them are dead.
Yeah, well, all of them were dead.
Yeah.
And they were burned to a crisp, melted, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it looked pretty gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw a trail that was leaving the massacre. It looked like somebody was dragging something.
Yeah.
Do you have any theories on what that might be?
Not even a little bit. I was hoping that following this smoke, there's at least some activity there. We might be able to find this fat gnome we're looking for. But Boris, yeah. And so hopefully within this, maybe he went over here or he got captured or some shit, and we're gonna go find him here. That makes sense, right? But as far as dragging stuff, couldn't possibly tell you. Except for that, it might be Boris.
Oh no! I didn't even think about that. The heavy thing that they're dragging is the fat gnome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's probably it.
So at least if that's true, we found him.
Yeah.
Now we gotta get him.
Yeah, because I had no idea what it might be. I was trying to think pretty much the entire sit down and for a while afterwards, what the heck was that?
Yeah.
Boris, the fact that it might be Boris never crossed my mind. I was thinking maybe it's like a treasure chest or something like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't make that much sense.
No.
Could be. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Be better than a dead gnome that we're trying to find.
Exactly.
Well, we're not trying to find a dead one. We're trying to find,
Yeah, he might still be alive.
He could be knocked out or something. Yeah, it could be they just tied him up and then dragging him because you don't want to carry that little gnome. And especially if they're goblins, they're about the same size.
Oh yeah,
so
they're gonna struggle.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think it's the gnome that killed all those goblins?
Huh? That's a good theory.
like what do you think killed them?
I think that's actually a very likely story in that they were fighting the gnome, but eventually just got overrun, and they got him, and then they were like, he fucking killed like 6 of our people or however many. And it's like, oh man, but he put up a good fight, but they got him.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting theory. But also I remember Nick mentioned that it might have been a dragon of some sort, and I was like, oh man, that very well might be that. Lots of fire and stuff. That seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that. Well, yeah, especially because we follow the trail to a second camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that camp had more burned body, and that's actually where the smoke was coming from, I believe, right? The big fire.
Yeah.
So, and the storm's starting to come down now, and it's not looking too great for us.
Yeah,
and so the trail leads to a second battlefield with more dead and more burned and melted goblins.
Yeah.
And the trail continuing from there even further.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's somebody dragging Boris, then it's probably not Boris killing.
Yeah.
Unless that's just the trail that he leaves when he walks. He's that fat. I don't think so.
No, probably not.
Could be a dragon.
Mm-hmm. I think a dragon is a pretty likely choice, honestly.
Or some other kind of weird creature.
Yeah, like a drake or something.
I don't like that. I'd prefer it just to be Boris walking around.
Yeah. He's the one spitting fire.
Yeah. Well, that does make bring up the good point of I saw Kenny grab Blix's character sheet before we started playing. So, did he need it for just the alchemist's skills?
Yeah.
Or did he need it because Blix is in the campaign?
Seems kind of likely.
Yeah, especially when it's like, that's why I was like, aha, with the fire and the acid. I was like, those alchemist attacks.
Yeah.
So it's I believe it's an alchemist that killed them.
Yeah.
But
all right,
it could be a dragon.
Yeah.
Or some kind of creature.
You're probably right. I just feel like that's something that Kenny would do. It just
but he may have just needed the alchemist skills.
Yeah. So it might just be an alchemist as well. So
I definitely believe it's an alchemist. Mm-hmm. I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
And I think
we never figured out what exactly Boris was beyond like his first mate, right? We never figured out if he was like beyond a pirate too. Probably wasn't an alchemist or anything.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think we found out anything.
Yeah.
Except that like she was like, or Rafasai was like, we can't leave without him. I got to have him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess he's got some kind of skill.
Yeah. So it's possible that he's the alchemist as well. And in which case, it's like a 2-for-1, I guess.
Yeah, and maybe he thought he could take care of himself with these crabs. Like maybe he knew about them. He's like, oh, I could. And goblins come after him. He's chucking these bombs and killing tons of them.
Yeah.
He could be super powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know because, well, we never ended up following the trail or never got to the end of it because the storm started coming down too hard.
Yeah.
And we were trying to decide on whether or not we found an alcove that we could hide within.
Yeah.
And we were trying to decide whether or not we should continue there, or leave.
Yeah.
Or stay there or leave, and still under the effects of the potions where you can't talk.
Yeah.
And me, Finworth and Dr. Euphoria are just looking so good. And
I'm just a babbling fool.
You're just a babbling fool. But you're able to scratch messages in the sand. And you explained to us, because I think before we get in there, you had already said, like, yo, this crab.
Before we even got to the alcove, I had already written in the sand that this crab is trying to kill me. And I was like, I'm very scared. We got to kill this thing. But then Fenworth had to get in my way.
Yeah. Well, and we also told you that, dude, we didn't hear the crab saying anything, so we don't know what's going on. Yeah. Maybe the potion's doing something weird, but you didn't believe the potion was doing anything weird.
Terran was so sure that it was just he heard it.
Yeah.
That's what he heard.
and so we you were trying to shoo it away. Well, we had tried to shoo it away beforehand, and it didn't leave. Yeah. And so you were kind of like pointing your sword at it, doing the whole like go and get. Yeah. And it wasn't going anywhere. It didn't really seem to care. We eventually were like, okay, we gotta go because the storm's starting to come down and we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, it was getting really bad.
I was hoping, out of character, that we could have continued to follow the trail. That's what I wanted to do.
That's what Terran wanted to do as well.
Yeah, Finworth not really looking forward to walking into the rain, but not the kind of guy that would be like, we should not do that. So that's why he was like, what do you guys want to do? And then flip a coin.
What do you want to do?
It's like each one of you had an opinion, and then mine's a coin toss. Because
that's how we decided.
Yeah, and so we stayed, which probably what made Finworth happy, and that's why he went to sleep as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really hoping we could follow that trail and see where that led to.
Yeah. That's fine. We got a little bit of rest.
Yeah, and we're in an alcove on this cliff, and next to the beach, and the trail was going along the cliff, and Kenny had specified that the trail was going in one specific direction.
Yeah.
So while we may lose it eventually, we can follow the general way in which they were going.
Yeah, I like that too.
So it shouldn't be too hard to pick up where we left off.
Not at all.
Who knows? But either way, we started a little campfire. Forgot about magic for a hot second there.
Yep, that was funny.
That was awesome, especially because in a previous episode we were thinking only magically, and forgot about the real world, and we didn't think about a current. And now we were like, oh yeah, you can just snap your fingers and have magic or have fire.
Yeah, exactly. It's so interesting that that's like a thing that we have to consistently like have to try and think about, and it's really quite strange. To do.
So Dr. Euphoria started a nice fire up, and got a watch going, and everything. It was a nice, peaceful night, and had nothing go on.
Nothing, huh?
not a gosh darn thing at all.
Slept like a baby.
So everybody slept like a baby. Well, except for Terran,
having an awful night,
going crazy,
literally going crazy,
and ripped the crab out from under Finworth. The Finworth was sleeping on the crab. Not really ripped. He because it wasn't like aggressive. He was just more like okay, it's time to go. Time to go. And it's time for me to go to sleep, so you can't stay. And which woke Finworth up. And
it's a big surprise.
My Constitution saving throws, they're real good. And I'm a hardy boy.
Also, I'm pretty sure our rolls were like a 5 and a 6 or something like that.
But I got a +7.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I can't beat that.
Yeah. So Finworth woke up and was none too pleased that you were stealing his best friend.
Yeah.
Because everything's his best friend.
Yeah, I know.
It's really fun making friends with
literally everybody.
Oh yeah. And kind of got into it out in the rain. We were like, "What are you doing?" And tried to wake up Mr. Doctor, and he was just like, "Dude, I'm not getting out in the rain."
It's like raining super hard. We're both like yelling at each other, and fucking Doctor comes out and it's like, what is going on right now? Yeah.
So you had ended up casting like your divine sense to see if the crab was any kind of strange creature, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
But do you not actually have detect good and evil?
I do not. I have protection from good and evil, which is the thing that came with my oath, which is super nice. But it didn't give me detect evil or good. Or
It's a spell.
Yeah,
you have to prepare that one.
Well, I can't change it now, unfortunately.
Shit.
Yeah.
You have to wait till level up or something.
I think so.
Well, yeah, because it'd be very handy. Just now,
definitely.
because actually, like, that would have answered a lot of questions if we could have done that, and it'd be like, oh, it's nothing.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
Okay, well, that wouldn't have, that would have actually kind of given us more questions. But if it had said like, oh, it's evil, it'd be like, oh, okay, stab.
Oh, fuck.
We could just kill this thing, cut its eyeballs off, and roast them on the fire.
Yeah.
It'd be delicious.
Yeah. But life isn't that easy when you don't have detect evil or good.
Right. So we just and by this time the potions had worn off, and you were able to actually explain in more detail what had happened.
Yeah.
And
thank goodness for that.
Yeah. And so we were, I guess my plan was to just, after trying to get because, okay, hold on, the crab's talking, make it talk to me. Didn't talk to me.
Yeah.
And so it kind of like bugs the crap out of Fenworth, because it's like, man, a talking crab would be dope. Oh, that might be a bummer, because then Taryn's probably right. But maybe we can find one that's not a douche. Maybe he'll be cool and we can be friends with that one. But so leave it out in the rain, because what the shit does a crab care if it gets rained on? They're supposed to be in water, aren't they?
They don't give a shit.
So leave the crab out in the rain, and we will go sleep peacefully. No problem.
Yes, hopefully.
Crab just followed us back inside. All right. Well.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll try our best. You know what I should have done is, I wonder if I could do a reverse alarm, where how it's like a 10-foot area. I make it where it's like an area around the crab, and if the crab moves, it goes off. I wonder if I could have done that.
I wonder. No, is it like a cube though?
I had one at the entrance. Which means if it left, it should have gone off.
But remember, it wasn't actually a big enough entrance. It was a pretty massive entrance to where your cube was covering part of it, so it could have gone through the other part. So it's possible.
Damn it! I think if I brought it up, Kenny might have been like, "Oh, you're right," but I forgot.
That's fine.
Dang it!
He's gone now, and now Taryn's worries are completely over.
Why?
Because the crab is gone.
But nothing's been answered.
It's true. Well,
sneak attack crab.
The difference now.
You gotta watch your back.
Yeah, I know, right? He's gonna come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
he's
just
bringing his crab friends.
What if Kenny never forgot the alarm and the crab just burrowed down in the sand?
That's even terrifying.
Right?
That's terrible. We're in so much danger now.
Yeah, we could just come out of nowhere and snip your toes.
Great. So Taryn's worries are back up. Now he's thinking about ninja crabs.
I think ninja crabs are most definitely a factor that we need to consider, because it's already snuck out. That's evidence pointing to a ninja crab. And if it's whispering to one of us, and the other aren't hearing, ninja crab. But the thing was pretty cool though. It even surfed down with us.
Yeah,
did a better job than I did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was pretty cool crab
until he wanted to murder.
Yeah.
But he disappeared in the morning, and sucks to suck because he missed out on a sweet-ass breakfast.
That's right. Some delicious sausage and potatoes.
I think that's going to be Fenworth's thing.
Sausage.
No, just cooking.
Oh, okay. Cooking breakfast?
Just eating as much as possible. Anytime they're camping and there's a fire, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm cooking.
Oh, man. Man, I'm hungry. We just ate.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to have to, get rations, or if anybody wants to, cut monster parts.
Yeah.
But preferably nothing that I've befriended.
I was going to say, that crab would have been delicious, huh?
Maybe not that crab. I don't think I would have eaten that one. if we got attacked by like a horde of crabs, like 3 or 4 crabs came at the cave.
Yeah.
And I can't recognize the one. I would definitely see if I could recognize Crabsworth.
Yeah.
And if I could, then I wouldn't want to eat that one. But I'd eat the other one.
Yeah.
I have no attachment.
Eat all his friends.
Yeah.
No attachment to his friends, but Crabsworth.
Well, they're
good guy.
You know, there could be bad influences on Crabsworth, so it's not his fault. Yeah. So I try to spare him. Maybe they're bullies.
Yeah.
I would try to spare him, like maybe do an animal handling check, try to save him. Wouldn't that bite the shit out of you?
Yes.
If like he was then like just followed us everywhere.
Yeah. We found a pirate hat and we put it on him.
I mean, I'm assuming he probably wouldn't go too far from the beach.
No, probably not.
Yeah, like when we start leaving the dunes.
Follows us everywhere.
That would
everywhere.
be the coolest thing.
Yeah. Put a time lapse up of like him in the mountains, like climbing with us, and then out in the desert.
Yeah, we're like on ropes, and he's on a rope. Like you were having to lift it, all pissed off.
Yeah. God damn! How is this thing so heavy?
He just keeps growing.
Yeah,
you have to keep getting him bigger shells.
That's a whole nother side quest.
He's the size of a horse.
Yeah. Soon as the size of a giant.
That's actually a valid concern to have, because Kenny had described them as hermit crab-like.
Yeah.
So, do they stop? Like, how big do they get? How big does the shell that they're in get?
I don't. They probably have to find new shells.
Right.
All the goddamn time.
But is the one we're looking at a baby?
No.
Or an adult?
It's terrifying.
Right, we don't even know. Like, what if you had killed it and then Mama Crab comes up? Because he was saying, I'm trying to think of what noise a crab would make. What if he had like a warning noise he was preparing to make?
Yeah.
Just start screeching.
But that was just the baby screech. I was like,
exactly. And then like, they were also burrowing crabs. Yeah. And Mama Crab just burrows up from the sand.
Yeah.
And just fucking.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Or even worse, just like comes from the bottom of the sea like Godzilla and just
right.
like super just, fast, like
with seaweed all over it.
Yeah.
Atomic breath. Fuck you, Kitty.
Jesus Christ.
Shouldn't have stabbed a baby. But
yeah, so anyways.
But yes, thank goodness we don't have to worry about any of that.
Don't have to worry about Mama Crab.
We don't, and definitely not being sneak attacked by the crab. Thank goodness Kenny can't hear any of this. Don't listen to this episode, Kenny.
Yeah.
Retroactively, don't listen.
Turn it off.
Yeah. And so we continued along the cliff after we ate a hearty breakfast.
Yep.
And we put out the fire, I'm assuming. Because we're responsible adventurers.
Yeah.
Turn around and, oh shit, we started a forest fire.
Yeah, we always remember Smokey the Bear.
Yeah, man. Who is actually just a druid named Smokey.
Yeah.
Turns into a bear and mauls people who start fires.
He's like a superhero.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
But
that's hilarious.
I love that now. So we follow the cliff face towards where we believe the trail's gone. The storm washed it away.
Yep.
But we follow where we believe it was headed, and we come across a cave.
Yes.
Hot damn! But it's occupied.
Mm-hmm.
By a couple gobos.
Little goblin fellows.
Yeah, and we were kind of discussing how we should handle this because in this world, goblins are not necessarily evil. While they are kind of shits.
Yeah.
You know, you could have a goblin player character that's like in a tavern and not trying to murder everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I even said that during the podcast that like there could be like a little bit of like racial profiling. Like, oh yeah, I usually think goblins are bad. That's my first impression of them. But that obviously does not mean that's the truth at all.
Right. I think that would be probably the case for both. For both of you, and then maybe also Dr. Euphoria.
Yeah.
Whereas Finworth is from the city, and maybe the only goblins he's ever met would be like guild member like tinkerers or something like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
So that he might think like, oh, some of them are kind of annoying and they're a little eccentric, but you know what? So is Taryn. So Taryn's a little eccentric.
Eccentric. All right.
He thinks you're the crazy one.
Yeah.
But definitely, you know, his motive is to be friends with everybody.
Yep.
So, but also like I know that goblins, just from education, that they're tribes. Goblins will do bad things. They'll you know, raid things, steal from people. So out in the, you know, if you see goblin tribes, you'd be a little skeptical. But as soon as you two like, I mean, maybe we should just talk to them.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, and I called out to them because why not?
So the thing that I was gonna do, which is why I like immediately pushed you guys behind something. I was like, all right, we're gonna stand right here. We're gonna stand behind cover, and we're just gonna be like, hey, and then if things go wrong, we just run the fuck away or something. But now we're in a little bit of predicament, and so yeah.
Fenworth is rash.
True.
You should definitely try to explain your plan as quickly as possible.
You have to like stop Fenworth. He'll like, I'll be like, no.
Boom! Just hit him right in the face.
Shut up! I'm not done talking.
Just knock him out. Or as soon as he goes, just put a chloroform rag.
Yeah.
Well,
just don't let him ever do anything.
I think it's just. It'll be important to remember if it's ever suggested to talk to anybody or to be friends with someone, he's going to immediately go, okay, and do it.
I know. You did it with the rock too later on.
I don't see why not. I just want to be friends.
Yeah, with all his sharp teeth and him coming to kill us afterwards, at least.
Well, I as soon as they start to attack,
you did change.
I immediately go, you can't hurt my friends.
Fenworth isn't dumb.
If I have friends, you can't hurt them. But I also want you to be one of those friends.
Yeah, you could join us.
But then you decided to try to hurt us, so now you have to die.
Yeah.
Or at least get beat up.
Yeah.
Usually die.
Probably dead.
But so, the goblins, you know, so you would push us behind the rock immediately after I had called out hi.
Yeah.
And they angrily charged at us because I'm assuming because they saw you push their new friend, Fenworth.
No.
So they think you're attacking me. So they're trying to save.
God damn it.
They're trying to save Fenworth.
Don't think that's what's happening right now.
Well, I don't understand why else would they be charging at us?
I wonder. Besides the intruders.
Oh yeah, they called out intruders. Yeah. So there were the two that were guarding. And then one ran out, or did any run out? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think anything happened besides like they just drew their bows and like yelled like intruders, emergency, and then I think that's as far as we got.
And then it ended. All right.
And now we have to deal with these things.
I'm excited. We'll get some good old fashioned goblins fighting D&D action.
Yeah, some classic D&D action.
Get some XP.
Possibly level up.
Oh yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think that was about it.
Yeah.
Pretty. I guess it wasn't so bad. It seemed like we didn't accomplish that much, but it was mainly.
It was mainly that internal conflict of like this dumb crab.
Right. Yeah, we spent a lot of time arguing out in the rain. But you know, it was definitely good character development, and it was great to have these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And then Kenny was like, haha, I planned that sort of thing. I was hoping this would cause internal strife amongst you. Yeah. You shit. Kenny, you shit.
You son of a bitch.
If you weren't listening before and you're still listening now, you shit. Why didn't you listen? And then you're also an asshole.
Yeah.
But the rest of you aren't. And I love you so much for listening
Huzzah.
to this episode of Real Talk.
Real Talk.
If you like what you heard, please check us out on dungeonjunkies.com. On the website, you can find everything you might ever want to, you know, find out about Dungeon Junkies.
Absolutely.
We got our email address there where you can send us all your dirty little comments. Anything, any kind of criticisms, we'd love to hear about them. Shoot us that email, dungeonjunkies@gmail.com. If you've got some awesome things to say and you want to help us out a ton, it really does help us out. Go to iTunes, Dungeon Junkies.
5 stars!
Give us that 5 stars. It means so much to us. I love every single one of you bastards that have left a 5-star review.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's awesome.
And if you want to see what we're up to on the day-to-day, check us out at Dungeon Junkie on Twitter.
God, you're not going to give me any of these, are you?
No, I never give it to anybody on Real Talk.
Nope.
And if you go there, you will find all kinds of shenanigans. We are hooking up with other podcasts, doing all kinds of crazy
Super cool
stuff. Tons of fun. So please enjoy all of our content because we enjoy when you listen to us. I love you. Bye-bye.
Keep listening to us.